The word is thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to call this meeting today, February 26th, call to order at 5:15 p.m. Roll call. And the committee plus lots of other people. Thank you for coming. Discussion and next steps on the propane bid. Turn it over to Donna.
Okay, so everybody received a copy of the two bids that we received. Our existing vendor, Hocon and Mitchell, who put in a bid as well. On page 19, you'll see the comparison of year 1, 2, and 3. And year 1, just to note, is the rest of this fiscal year, which is from March 1st to June 30th. But the price, as you can see, remains the same across the board. I looked at the difference in price. It's about an $8,000 savings to go with Mitchell per year. And I didn't know if anybody had any questions about the actual bids.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
One of them said it qualified for the fuel credit and one said no, but I was assuming that's just because they weren't handling the fuel credit. Was that the clarification?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And the district pretty much puts in the application for the fuel credit, so it's kind of a moot point.
Oh, awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so year 1. All set.
Yeah, it's not a comment.
I know, yes. See my glasses. Yeah.
I actually, on the, I had a question on the pump maintenance. The way that they're written between the two, is there a saving between one and the other, or is it the same?
Yes, that's a good question. So for Norbert Mitchell, I believe it was $109 per hour. And then I did a follow-up question with the recommendation of the superintendent to Hocon, because theirs wasn't delineated in numbers. And it did come down, if you look at the bottom of the page on their contract page, their bidder page, you'll see that they said, I believe it was $180 per hour. They do a 20% discount, and I think they quoted it at $220. And then they have 20% off.
Which page was that?
Okay, you might not have gotten that copy.
25.
Okay, yeah.
You might not have gotten that copy, but it is $180 per hour for the maintenance fee.
It's 25.
This one?
Yes, thank you, Lisa. Page 25.
Oh,
And if you look at the bottom, I just put a little sticky note down there.
so even though Hocon is less than pump maintenance, the other one is still.
Mitchell is less, it's 109.
Oh, 109, I was thinking 190. There's my number reversal coming into play. Never mind, in the glasses.
Any other questions, Jeff?
No, I'm good. It looked good to me.
So agreed, we'll send this to the full board? Okay. Motion to adjourn at 5:18 p.m.
So moved.
Patrick, all in favor?
Aye.
We're now adjourned.
At 5:30 on time for once. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When you are ready, Ellen, call the roll.
Mr. Berger.
Here.
Ms. Conway.
Here.
Mr. Corey.
Here.
Mr. Prentice.
Here.
Mr. Uclito. Here. Ms. Mona here. Mr. Kisco.
Here.
Mr. Knight. Here. Mr. Putnam.
Here.
Thank you. Mayor Carbona, representative. Ms. Ferguson. Here. Ms. Klamazewski. Here. Ms. Labby. Here. Mr. Gebola. He's here.
He is here. Yeah,
Ms.
he's over there.
Schulte. Here. Ms. Beans.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Okay, thank you. We have next the approval of the agenda, but I'd just like to request a couple of amendments along with that. So we're looking to amend item 8G2, which is the field trip for Old Sturbridge Village, to just add an additional field trip. So we'll consider them both at the same time. I believe everyone has it in front of them. And then under the same new information and action, we'd like to add an item 5, which would be a change to the voluntary retirement incentive program deadline date, to coincide with our tentative plan for redistricting, right? We would set the redistricting plan on the 26th of March, so we're looking to have a discussion and vote on extending the VRIP date to April 1st, so that folks can decide once redistricting is in place. And then lastly, I'd be looking to move what would become item 7, which is the board's non-meeting to discuss collective bargaining strategy, to after adjournment, since it's a non-meeting anyway, so that we don't have to hold folks over to keep the live stream going and stuff, while we then come back in and conclude our meeting. So those are the adjustments to the agenda that I would be looking for if there is a motion to approve an amended agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Knight, seconded by Mr. Polito. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have our agenda. Next up is school community service and public participation. All right, we do have sign-ups, so I'm going to read the disclaimer. The board invites members of the community to speak on topics to be addressed in the agenda or on other topics of interest. Individuals wishing to make comments are requested to fill out the speaker sign-up sheet, including their name and address, which must be stated at the beginning of your comment. The board will not allow comments regarding specific staff members, parents, students, or personal grievances. Courtesy is expected in this limited public forum. The participating time will be limited to 3 minutes per person, 10 minutes overall, to guarantee efficient operation of the entire meeting. First up, we have Mr. Jason Lafreniere.
Good evening, Jason Lafreniere, special education teacher at Torrington Middle School. I debated whether or not I was saying anything tonight, and I prepared some remarks, and I'm going to shorten it a little bit. So I've been a staunch supporter of the Board of Ed, and I truly believe that this Board of Ed is supportive of all the faculty and staff at Torrington Public Schools. However, after the redistricting meeting that took place last week, there were several comments that seemed wrongly critical and insensitive to the people that this Board of Ed sets policy for. And I will talk more about that at the redistricting meeting that's taking place on Monday. I just want to be sure that the Board of Ed is making comments that are sensitive to the people that you set policy for, that we're not scaring people away, and they're not being wrongly critical of the job that all of us are doing in the schools. I really do look forward to having those discussions and questions. I can give specific points at that meeting. I know it's not on the agenda tonight, but I do want to thank those of you who understand the importance of making a quick decision for the redistricting, and look forward to a speedy move so that the administration can start the long process of moving things forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Aaron Sullivan.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to come tonight. My name's Erin Sullivan. I reside at 5 Silver Lane in Harmonton, and I'm a teacher at the high school. I wanted to actually thank the board Principal Brian Scott and Assistant Superintendent Sue Ferguson for in the fall supporting the reinstatement of our journalism program and supporting our field trip that we took to Columbia University in the fall. With the work that we've been able to do with what Brian Scott was able to put in place and that field trip, our journalists have been hard at work. We have an up and running website that has been personalized in its graphic design by our students, specifically our senior Kayla Kelly. And we've been able to highlight a lot of the things happening at Torrington High School. There's a great gallery of the new building in it. And that's thsradareport.org if anybody wants to check it out. But I just wanted to come tonight and say thank you because those opportunities have really opened up a door for our kids. I've got 8 juniors who are already planning to move up next year into leadership roles as seniors, and then we'll have a new staff coming in under them and hopefully be able to continue this legacy. So just thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great update.
And last on the list, I have Sandy Megan.
I'm right here. I'm coming with my toys.
Oh, look, she has props.
I'm coming with my props. So, and my shirt. So I just wanted to spread some joy and the joy that we've had this week. As you know, Torrington was chosen as CEA's Read Across Connecticut site. And so Monday and Tuesday, we had kickoff here at Torringford. We had readers throughout the day for our kindergarten classrooms and our first grade classrooms. And I went to Vogel today and we did the kickoff at Vogel this morning. Kids were so excited, the joy, and we had lots of great community helpers come in and do those read aloud. So I worked closely with Public Works, the Torrington Fire Department, the Torrington Police Department. Hillary was my contact for the fire department. Mr. Wilson helped me out with the police department. The superintendent and the assistant superintendent came and read in both buildings. Representative Canino is reading tomorrow at Vogel. The mayor was here and read. And every child in kindergarten and first grade went home with one of these bags, which has really great, cool stuff in it, right, Marissa? The highlight of that was the little llama, because it was reading is a llama fun, and Jocelyn dressed up as the llama and read llama, llama, red pajama. And they went home, they got to choose a llama book to put in there to take home, so spreading that reading to home. I want to thank the superintendent, the assistant superintendent for their support for the event, the building admin, Kelly and Peter, Georgia and Alden, their administrative assistants who've been very busy greeting people. And as part of the Read Across Connecticut event, both Vogel and Torringford got one of these carts, and it's a play-based learning cart that connects literacy and all the different stages of play. So this is and it has books and it has all kinds of fun things. So both schools got one of these, so I wanted to share that joy with the board because we've had a lot of fun this week. So just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy. That's great information.
So it was fun.
So fun.
It was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Excellent. So that's everyone on the list. Just put out a quick call. Is there anyone here in the room who would care to address the board? And then is there anyone online who would care to address the board? Okay. All right, then next up we have recognitions. Take it away, Mr. Wilson.
Certainly, we have several this evening, always the highlight of the board meeting, so thank you. The first group that we're going to recognize is our amazing and wonderful instructional coaches. They go above and beyond each and every day for our students, and we can't thank them enough. But the reason they're here tonight is to get a little extra thanks, because with the new building, the new high school, there was a lot going on, as we all know. And these 6 ladies, Assistant Superintendent Ferguson, and said, please, any way we can help. So Assistant Superintendent Ferguson contacted Mr. Scott and said, can you use some more help? And he said, sure, we'd love it. And these 6 ladies really spent 2 days in the down and dirty, unpacking boxes, helping, stocking shelves, putting things where they needed to be, just being that extra set of hands, and I think almost a therapy of sort for some of the staff there that just kind of felt a little overwhelmed. So we can't thank them enough for sharing their time and sharing their patience and sharing their enthusiasm and energy with our high school team. And it just shows a true team approach. So the 6 people that we'd like to recognize this evening, and we know they're going to come up and become Facebook famous. So Cindy Marshall, Vana Safaldi, Dawn Palucho, Jen Martin, Mary Morton, and Michelle Nadal. Come on down. So we get the board. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty tall.
Rachel, let me know if I'm in a picture so I just know.
Do you not want it?
I don't.
I take it back, board.
All right, I'm gonna take a couple of. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Dr. Buchanan, you're up.
I'm gonna read this because I don't want to miss anything. Okay. So Southwest School would like to recognize our newest staff member, our security officer, Christopher Skinner. He's such a welcomed addition to our Southwest family. In the 2 months that he's been with us, Officer Chris has made wonderful connections with both staff and students. He takes great pride in doing his job and doing it well. He consistently walks the halls, cafeteria, playground, and the perimeter of our campus. He checks all the outside doors on a regular basis, and he tallies, on the average, almost 15,000 steps a day, and we're a small school. So dust does not settle on Officer Chris, and it was shared with me by a staff member that they've always felt safe at Southwest School, yet never realized how vulnerable they were. And having our security officer on board brings us great peace. We just love Officer Chris, so I'm embarrassing him tonight. And I told Chris he could sneak out now because he's got something to do. Thank you.
So we have 2 students we're gonna be recognizing tonight. First, if I could ask Diane to come up. Hopefully Josh is gonna be able to pull up a picture for me. There we go. So Cheyenne, who I've had the great pleasure of working on since Torrington Middle School, we've been together for quite a while now. Cheyenne has won in the 10th grade group for the Wyland Foundation National Art Classroom and Mural Challenge. This competition is one of the nation's top environmental art contests for students, and this is her piece of work that she created. And I just wanted to say that Cheyenne, as well as our other student I'm going to call up in a minute, really do represent the absolute best of what we do at Torrington High School. I mean, I embarrass her just a tiny bit. Cheyenne has an unweighted GPA of 98, which I didn't even know you could do. My unweighted GPA was not a 98. But she is an outstanding young lady, already in some UConn ECE courses, and just an amazing young lady. So, Cheyenne.
There we go.
Don't run away yet. Okay. And next, if I could have Mikey come up. We were student presenter not too
Last
long
month.
ago, right? Yeah, okay, so you guys probably recognize Mikey.
Yes.
Mikey, of course, last time he was here, we talked a little bit about his being quarterback of our football team. But since then, Mikey won the Naugatuck Valley Leagues for long jump and high jump. He also won Class L in both events. He is his best jump this season in high jump was 6 feet 2 inches. Oh, sorry. And his best long jump was 24 feet, 4.5?
Yes.
Okay, so I got that one right. The long jump is our school's indoor long jump record. Since I sent this in to the board for the recognition, I do have one additional element. This past weekend, this past weekend, Mikey also took first place in the men's long jump for the state. So congratulations. Mikey will be going on to the New Balance Indoor National Championships shortly. So we're really excited. And again, much like Cheyenne, Mikey really does represent the absolute best of what we do at Torrington High School. And he also has a very high unweighted GPA of 92. So outstanding. Now I'm going to look really short.
I was gonna say, Mr. Scott.
Don't put it in the middle.
Oh, I gotta zoom out for this one.
Yeah.
And that concludes our recognitions. Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody, and please don't feel obligated to stay with us for the rest of the evening, although you are more than welcome to do so. Next up, we'll hear from our student representatives. Take it away, ladies.
Hi, my name is Abby Young. My name is Natalie Knox, and we will be your student presenters. We are proud to report that our ethics bowl team recently competed at the Yukon Stores campus, where they had been able to showcase their impressive skills in critical thinking. Although our teams did not secure top prize, their performance was strong, and they demonstrated and they continued improvement from previous years. Notably, our classmates were able to secure victories over New Canaan High School, Xavier High School, and Hopkins High School, highlighting significant achievements. In fact, our teams were likely just one win away from making it to the finals. As previously mentioned, in athletics, one of our seniors, Michael Awa, made history at the prestigious Millrose Games held at the Nike track at the Armory in Washington Heights, New York. Awa's remarkable jump of 24 feet has earned him a ranking of 3rd in the nation for long jump. Leading up to the event, Awa had already been making waves in track and field, setting a personal record of 23 feet at the NBLs. Also previously mentioned in art news, we would like to congratulate Cheyenne Chen, a talented 10th grader at DHS, for winning the National Art Contest hosted by the Weiland Foundation. This highly regarded contest highlights the intersection of art and environmental awareness, which encourages students to create works that emphasize the importance of protecting our planet's natural resources. Cheyenne's success is a testament to her creativity and commitment to both art and environmental stewardship, and we are incredibly proud of her achievement. We would also like to share current updates on the music and theater departments. As of late, we've had to push back our choir concert out a few weeks due to the undergoing finishing touches inside the auditorium. It will now be held on March 27th with both the concert and chamber ensembles. As for theater students, we have been holding rehearsals in the band room, which we hope to soon move over to the new stage. Our production of Working will be held May 8th, 9th, and 10th. Continuing with music, Torrington High School's Music Technology Suite has been featured on Soundtree's inaugural national newsletter, highlighting the school's commitment to cutting-edge music education. Soundtree, the educational division of CORG, recognizes the high school's state-of-art facilities, including a professional podcast studio, a modern band room with electronic drum kits and DJ equipment, and a music technology and piano lab for digital production and composition. This recognition underscores the growing importance of music technology and education and showcases Torrington High School's dedication to offering students hands-on, industry-relevant learning experiences. Additionally, this past month, our drama students hosted their annual Valentine's Cabaret in the brand new THS cafeteria. It was a fantastic event bringing together students, faculty, and families to enjoy an evening filled with talent and creativity. The energy and excitement were palpable as students performed and shared love for arts and the beautiful newly renovated space. Finally, we were able to hold our first dance in the new building, following the themes of Valentine's with the Valentine's Day dance. The event was a success with high spirits and most guests staying until the very end. The new sound system in the cafeteria was a standout feature, significantly enhancing the music and creating a lively atmosphere for all the attendees.
And thank you for your attention, and that concludes our Torrington High School Board Report.
Do any members of the board have remarks or questions for our student presenter?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. You are, as always, more than welcome to join us for the rest of our meeting, but don't feel obligated to do so. So we will hear next from the superintendent. Take it away, sir.
Certainly. A couple of different things this evening. First, I would like to formally introduce, and it is my pleasure to do so, our two new directors that are part of the new OTL office. And it's been a long time coming. Mrs. Ferguson has been patiently waiting. So Mrs. Gadd, as our Director of Humanities, and Ms. Linda Tran, if you could stand up so everyone can kind of... These two ladies have spent the past month not only working alongside Assistant Superintendent Ferguson, but also being out and about and visible and visiting with all of our buildings in order to connect with the administration and the staff and students as well. So thank you, ladies. Welcome aboard. Couldn't be happier. We had our full day professional development on February 18th. It was a great day. We all came together at our brand new THS in order to learn about new and exciting ideas on instruction. Walking around and seeing the excitement and all of the new learning taking place kind of reinvigorated all of us in central office. And we can't wait to see these ideas in action as we continually visit our classrooms. As you have seen, because it has been broadcast probably a million times over on every website or web page we will have our All Things Redistricting on Monday, March 3rd at Vogel Wetmore. And we'll also hold a Q&A session as shared at the last board meeting. The entire panel from central office will be there to answer questions. So we're very happy and excited about that. Big congratulations goes out to our boys and girls basketball teams for making the state tournament, which is no easy task. Hopefully the board has seen the 100th day photos online. Sue and I visited all the schools on the 100th day of school, and we had shirts made thanks to special helpers at central office that really was the 100 ways to say I love you. And Marissa and Rachel, I will give them a public acknowledgement, even though they'll probably give me a death stare, but they really helped us with the shirts, and we had different heart bubbles. And as you all know, we love being with our students, and we do love our students, so it was kind of the perfect way to really share that day with them. As Sandy said, we read for Read Across Connecticut at both Torrington and Vogel, and it was such a great time. Obviously, anytime we can be with our students, especially our little kindergarten friends, they really keep us on our toes with some of the questions that they asked Assistant Superintendent Ferguson and I, but it couldn't be cuter. We had such a blast. And thank you for inviting us in. And we did also, I will admit, we sugared the students up, but we said at the end of the day, so we did not want to sugar them up for the whole day. So we were very happy. Also, as you may have seen, I coached the Forbes students against the faculty. Mr. Klein, very disappointing yet again that you can't put a team on the court, but that's fine. But Mr. Bergola, you know when you go 2-0, Mr. Bergola, that's a pretty good record as a coach, what'd you say?
I'll give you that.
Thank you, sir. So continue the undefeated streak. As I shared with this board, if I'm coming out of retirement, I was not going to let the board down. So kudos to the students, kudos to Mr. Klein, kudos to the faculty. It was a true community event. The positivity that we heard, central office was there as well, and the community said it was such a great night, and they wished we could have more things like this. So it really was a blast, and we had such a great time doing that. And, you know, as I normally say, and, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't, a big thank you to all of our students, staff, teachers, administrators. All of their hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed by anyone in central office, and I know I speak for the board, it does not go unnoticed by them. So keep up the good work. I know we have our long month of March coming up. You know, everyone hears that in education. It is a long month, but we're gonna make it through. We got this. And I'd be remiss, Mr. Lafreniere did invite me this year. I will be putting the shoes back on and actually taking the court in the faculty-student basketball game next week. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not gonna make any prediction just yet.
You missed practice.
Yeah, so they might bench me? That's all right, I get it. I had an excuse though.
When is that?
What's the date? March 6th, I believe. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna come and heckle me, man.
March 6th.
March 6th.
At the middle school?
I will do my best, board. I'm not making a prediction on that, but I will do my best.
It's right after school, so 3:15-ish.
Okay. I'll videotape them.
Gee, thank
Oh,
you.
Please do, I'll still be working, yeah.
And that's all I have this evening.
That'll
Thank
be
you.
fun.
Thank you. I will continue to advocate legislatively to legalize betting at these events. I just want to give that part of the update. But no, thank you, Mr. Wilson, for your update. And I just want to give a quick shout out in relation to Read Across America, to all those who are taking the time to go and read to our students. My work is pretty aggressive about my schedule, so unfortunately I cannot, but I think it's really important, and I'm thankful for everybody who was able to take some time to go read to our students. And with that, do any members of the board have anything for the superintendent?
Just one thing, just don't be wearing those 80s short shorts that we
I will not be wearing those, but I appreciate your fashion tip.
Kids.
Not as old as you, Gary.
I was in the 70s.
Okay. All right, so next up we have the Human Resources report. Take it away.
Thank you. So you have in your packet my report. You will see that I'm happy to report that we continue to have no certified vacancies. So I'm very excited that we are retaining our staff and that they are happy in their roles. So that's exciting. Our classified staff, we're continuing about at the same trend. So para-educators, we hire 2, we lose 1. So we've got a little turnover there. So there's been a little bit of turnover on the non-certified side, but we're continuing to interview and hire. Our absences, you can see, went up a little bit in January. There's been a lot of flu and illness and things going around. So we're continuing to trend a little up on that. And as a result, our substitute fill rates were a little less than where they've been. Simply because the substitutes are sick as well. So, even though our staff are sick, our substitute pool is a little bit less than what we've been seeing. So, and that is consistent with many other districts in the state. You have the rates based on how many are being filled by Torrington versus you can see on the month and our staff turnover, there is one error I just want to point out. I apologize, it transferred into the wrong line. The nurse should only be 1, and it's the secretary is where the new. So it should be 1 nurse and 1 secretary for the separation. So the percentage is a little off. So that'll be corrected on next month's report. So I apologize for that. And I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Anyone have any questions related to human resources? No, I share your excitement that we do not have any certified vacancies, and I know you all are working very hard on the classified. And I know we're not the only district that is experiencing the same cycle, but thank you nonetheless for your hard work.
Thank you.
Special education report.
Okay, so my normal report is here for you guys. Nothing really any different. We're really status quo. We do continue to show that increase in pre-K. We have topped 100. So that's a lot of new little 3-year-olds coming in, but we are continuing to develop really good programming for them. Our outplacements, everything else is status quo. We really haven't gone up or down. Our prevalence is still always within the 15 to 16%. So that's where we want it to be. That's great. 504 plans, there are 26 more from last month, and I did not change the date on that. Sorry. There are currently 28 open special education referrals, so they're in the process of being evaluated at this point and may end up qualifying or not. However, so far this year we have exited 23 students from special ed, so that's not moved. That is, they no longer require special education. So that's a celebration. As far as Kim said, yes, we do have our Certified teachers all set, but we are having a lot of fluctuation with the paras. We will get applicants, we bring them in, and then we've lost a couple more. So we are interviewing again on Friday. We have some candidates we're hopeful. And the other thing is I am desperate for a speech pathologist or two. We have had a vacancy, 2 vacancies since the start of the year when we had 2 people retire. So the SLPs have been amazing in district. Everybody has stepped up and has helped each other out, but it's very difficult. This is a very high need area, and we can't even get a contracted one in. So I'm kind of out of ideas right now. If anybody knows of anybody, I'm even thinking about bringing in a speech pathology assistant that would not be able to do any testing or anything like that, but at least could run therapy groups. So if anyone knows of anyone, please send them our way to apply, and we'll continue to look for that. Okay, and that's it.
Good question. Laura, is it just a shortage in that area? It is,
Yeah.
okay. There's not anything we can do.
And it's nothing new, that's always been a shortage area, but right now it's just, you cannot find people.
Okay.
And I don't like to piecemeal type of things,
Right, no,
but
agreed.
I kind of feel like, okay, if we have a retired SLP that can give us 1 day a week, let's bring her in and have her do 1 day a week to at least help with the evaluations and all that. So that's where we are. So other than that, our certified are great, it's just the SLPs.
And the speech pathology is a statewide and chronic problem,
I know,
nationwide
nothing
for
new.
that matter.
Yeah.
It's too
It's not just us, it's not just that we aren't doing something.
Yeah.
No, and whenever I talk to kids that are going off to college, I'm like, you think about speech pathology?
No.
Because we do need them, so, and that's it.
And the 26 in the referrals, the 504 referrals, right?
No, those aren't referrals.
Oh, they're
Those-
new, they're confirmed, new 504.
Those are new 504
Okay.
plans that were developed.
Is that normal
Yeah.
Okay, monthly, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
they're for different reasons, and sometimes kids come off of them too, like if it was a temporary medical thing.
Yeah.
Or kids can qualify for a 504 for a lot of various reasons, so the numbers are typically high, that's not abnormal.
Alright, thanks. That's it, thank you for the update.
I think it's really exciting that 23 students have been exited from
That's fantastic.
special ed.
Right.
And while we're on the topic of special ed too, I did speak briefly on behalf of Torrington Public Schools when the legislature's Joint Committee on Education had their hearing. It was supposed to be at Northwestern and then went virtual without any notice, and it was super fun to show up at the college and be closed, but anyway. So I got in and I spoke briefly on behalf of the district related to funding for programs. I think you especially have done a lot of out of the box thinking with programming for us, and I'm advocating to them for money that's not just excess costs that we can actually use for programs. And I also Mr. Lafreniere also spoke at that hearing, and we are grateful to him as well for.
Mr. Medici as well.
Yes, and Mr. Medici spoke. So quite a few of our employees and parents spoke as well, and we are just as thankful. But here's hoping that we'll be able to get some more money, some more grants, some more programming, something to make your lives a little bit easier. Okay, where am I on my agenda? We have next up the liaison reports. I saw a few come across the wire, but as always, if any of our school liaisons or building administrators want to add anything to anything that you've already sent along, now would be the time. Okay, moving right along then, we have our committee reports. So first up is the School Improvement Committee.
Monthly financials.
Oh, I missed the monthly financials, you're right, I apologize, monthly financials.
Yes, okay. So everybody received the monthly financials in the packet, and they were presented to our budget committee. We're in very good fiscal standing. I didn't know if anyone had any questions.
This was brought up to me, and I think I know the answer, but this was brought up to me by a constituent actually, that there's been some discussion on the city side,
that they're so terribly concerned that we've quote unquote expended the vast majority of our budget. So I would just ask you to clarify, it's just that you encumber things in
Correct.
advance because you know you're gonna pay for them later.
Yes, absolutely. We don't encumber salaries, we encumber everything else, so we're right where we should be.
Thank you. Anyone have anything related to the monthly financials? Okay. See, I skipped it because I knew it would be easy. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
All right, now we have school improvement. Mr. Kisco, take it away.
School improvement, I would recommend watching the recording of the school improvement committee meeting if you want to learn all about the high school NEAS report, midterm report. Very well done by a large, was everybody there, Brian? Everybody was there, the whole administrative staff was there. Thorough report, very well done. Watch it, please, so you'll know what's going on for NEAS. And we have issued the District Distinguished Alumnus application. We've started that process, and I've seen that not only on Facebook, but in the newspapers.
Yeah, Facebook, the newspaper, we sent it out through our district, internal means LTPS, and Mary Graziani and I will do a reissue at the beginning of next week. Just as a reminder, what we tend to see, John, is things come in at the very last minute, like everything else, right? People wait and then they get the reminder and they're like, oh my goodness, I have to get that in. So that's been historically the pattern.
Not just students at the high school,
No.
it's people.
People, yeah.
But that process is underway, and this is yet another reminder for anyone who's thinking of nominating someone, this is a good time to do it. We meet next Wednesday. We start with a tour of Forbes School at 5 o'clock. Just the broad outlines of what might happen where in the event that we accept the redistricting. And anyone who's interested can show up at 5:30, our meeting, which will have a report on the World Languages Program from the director of the World Languages Program at the high school, and the report on the 4-5 schools as comes up this year at this time. So that's it.
Great. Questions? Any questions for John?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Policy Committee. You guys been meeting lately?
We had one meeting, I was hoping Marissa would give me the minutes so I could remember. She didn't include
Well, if
them.
somebody was
Talk
there.
about
dress code. I already wrote it.
Oh.
Primarily it was dress code, teachers and students. Long conversation, I thought it went well. There were some administrators and teachers there who participated. And I think the end result was the superintendent and the administrators, I think, we're gonna get together. We had the shipment policy. There was one real objection by a member of our board. A very, very good comment. And
Sorry.
Good idea. Otherwise, I think it's gonna be hopefully the meeting happens soon. It's the March meeting, we're gonna try to finalize it and implement both for students and teachers.
Students first.
Students first, right. Students first. And then move on to the staff.
Staff, yep.
Other than that, there was a harassment policy, which was really, it was a shipment policy.
The attendance policy, it was the attendance policy,
Attendance and
which is on the
wasn't-
agenda for tonight for a minor edit because of the new Connecticut paid sick leave law.
Other than that, we ended it, we got back together in March and finalized this end of dress code, which is going on for 2 years.
Great. Or not. Do you think that?
I've done it too, but.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my wrench, don't worry about it.
Do you think the policy committee is gonna, you guys are gonna land on a recommendation together to submit to the full board, do you think?
Well, I think we can, at least the students. and-
We were enlisting some
Staff?
assistance, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ms. Sterling, I should say. and
Yeah, we've
superintendent
drafted something that, for the board to review at the
and
next
Principal.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other two assistant principals.
Okay.
Nice.
Excellent. Anyone have anything related to policy? Okay, thank you. So next we'll hear from the Facilities and Technology Committee.
Not too much to report with the limited capital funds that we received this year, but I do want to note that Rachel and her team and Dean and his team, in addition to the team of central office, and Mr. Scott at his building. The last 90 days have really, a lot of their time has been spent with the move. And, big kudos to them. If I could, I would say a round of applause for everybody. You guys really did a great job. We have Mario here. We got to thank them for everything that they pulled off for that building. So they should be recognized as well while we're here. And the only other item I think we talked about was the generator move. That's going to Southwest, is that it? Okay, it's been relocated but not hooked up yet I think that's where that stood.
Correct.
And other than that, I really don't think there's much else to report from a facilities or technology perspective that I need.
It's tough when you don't have any money. Thank you. Does anyone have anything related to facilities and technology that they would like to add? Okay, thank you. We have the budget committee next.
Moving right along, budget. Next year, the redistricting, clarifying just different line items that we forget what's in this item. And Tom is so gracious to answer the question over and over and over again. So we're just plugging along.
Does anyone have anything? But I know you did the presentation, which is excellent. That's online, right? I guess I haven't looked, but I assume it is. Okay, great. So I just want to make that sort of announcement that the superintendent's proposed budget is available online for anyone to review, and we'll post any updated versions as we go through the process as well. Anyone else have anything? Okay, we have with us the two chairs of our building committee
Thank you.
who have been forced to sit through 45 minutes of our meeting, which we thank you for, but take it away, give us the latest.
Okay.
Latest and
Yeah,
greatest.
I have a couple of things. The coaches who you gave reference to, they were great when I was in the schools around there. They did the nurse's office and the foods lab, so usually I'm in the building 8 to 12 hours when the moves were there. Also, I don't know if we mentioned this again, we received $103 million already from the state of Connecticut. I put in the forms. We just received the okay for the next payment, which will be about $4.8 million. So as we go along, we put in every 2 months and we get reimbursed from the state of Connecticut. So we have $103 million. They keep, unfortunately, about $9.9 million as retainage. And at the end of when we have to fill out the audit report, then they will give us the money. We have to have a bank anticipation note to hold that money and then give it to us at 6 months after the audit. So those are a couple of things. Again, you receive, every month you receive the agendas with the backup, and so you have all that. You see in that agenda, you get copies of every change order. You also receive the list of all the payments that have been made to all the vendors, which is about $139 million already. You also receive in that, you get a list of all of the construction vendors with their amounts. You see their contract and you see any change orders. So you have received also, you get every month the invoices that the building committee pay each month to the vendors. So it's a compilation of a lot of things that you get when I send it out either on Friday or Monday before the board meeting.
Construction-wise, middle school's about 86% done or so. Dropping ceiling tiles and putting in lights and getting ready to do some flooring. Demolition could start as early as tomorrow on the portion of the building that used to have the canopy in front of it. They're gonna go right through that, and they're gonna take down the library wing. Taking on those two things first will enable them to circle the buildings and claw at it from several sides. So you've seen.
Will you record all that for us?
What's that?
Record all that for us?
I wish I could, I won't be around, but I would like to see it.
Yeah, they also, in the gym, they've put up the abatement, so they get rid of all the.
The gym's contained right now.
Contained right now.
Yep, so the gym is just 4 walls right this second, but they'll start clawing at that pretty soon for the 2 walls that are coming down. There's a zoning meeting tonight for the latest, and we hope final design for the fields. It's really the drainage. We already know what the fields are like. It's really the minutia of the fields. And we're hoping to come out of that meeting with at least enough of a approval to at least start pulling off topsoil and stuff. We don't think we're gonna get full approval tonight, but. So a lot, there's a lot going on. ONG's really got their work cut out for them to get all that work done. Even by the first or second week in September, even if it's late a little bit, but, so that's where we're at. And other than that, we're here for any questions you might have, and
Also with the fields, because the building will still be up until May, hopefully we have the left, if you look in the back of the left side of the ball field will be done, and one multi-purpose will be done. But then they still have to take care of the building down. During August is a real heavy time for construction of fields. That's why hours will not be done till September.
Do any members of the board have questions for our building committee co-chair?
I think the public should know that, although we've had our differences,
No.
three of us, Mario and Ed work, they're always in the trailer. They don't get paid, we don't agree on everything, and I know the board members, committee members don't always agree, but I don't know, thank God they're doing it, because number one, the paperwork is almost impossible to understand. It's multiple hours weekly for Ed, and it's just the minutia of the project. It's almost a $200 million project. And we're about 90% done with the building, and other than the demo, I think we have a contingency left of $600-some thousand, and we think we can make it. The building coming down is the outstanding issue. We don't know what's under the ground. There could be rock, there could be unsuitable soils, and we'll see that when we get there, which is every project.
So they'll start as early as tomorrow, but it could take 8-10 weeks or so to really get.
3 months probably.
Is it to level it?
Yeah, 3 months to get the building down and removed, and then probably some additional time to prepare the
Fill and everything.
prepare the grounds for what is gonna be fields, because the elevations are all off right now. So,
You have to take all the concrete out of the ground, too.
yeah.
And then replace it with good soil. That's not our
Anyone else? Thinking about it, well, that's you.
Before we're moving on.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, and Gary is right that, we owe you a lot for the tremendous amount of work that you've put into this project.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you as well for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope my wife will make dinner now. You never.
Tell her please and thank you.
Okay, so we'll go through our meeting minutes, agenda items here quickly. So I'll hear a motion to approve the Board of Education regular meeting minutes from January 29th, 2025, if there is such a motion.
Oh.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, those are good. I'll hear a motion on the special meeting minutes, just as one bundle, so it's special meetings on, 2 special meetings on January the 28th, 2 on January the 30th, and 2 on February 3rd. So I'll hear a motion to receive and approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, subcommittee meeting minutes, without objection, I would hear them, just as one motion for facilities, on November 13th, budget, on January 15th, school improvement on, I think actually none of these are from November, it's probably a typo. I think these are both, from, my guess is, are those November?
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Really old meeting, there was a
Okay. All right, and then, school improvement from 11/6 and building committee from 1/16. Is there a motion? Anyone?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's done. I'll hear a motion to receive the consent agenda of appointments, retirements, and resignations.
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that's done. So now we're on to new information and action. First up is the propane RFP, which I know the budget committee meeting just did. What's the recommendation?
Yes, so we had 2 bids, and the recommendation of the budget committee was to put forward Norbert Mitchell Company for propane vendor. They were the low bidder with approximately $8,000 savings in comparison to our current vendor, Ocon.
Great. Anyone have any discussion?
Quick question, I'm sorry, and I was here, I didn't participate in the meeting, and I apologize for that, but the terms of the contract, we're getting apples for apples?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Anyone else have anything?
It's a simple question. I haven't been to those meetings. Where do we use, is the propane for kitchen use? Where do we?
Oh, it's for the buses, so
Oh,
our
for the buses.
auto company.
I just have one question, reviewing those bids, we're responsible for maintenance on the pumps or whatever it was, the equipment that's at the field as well, because they have like estimated repairs?
Yes. That's how it's traditionally been. If something happens, we're charged for them to fix it.
To fix their pump equipment.
The tanks are ours, they're All-Stars, they own the tanks, and most likely the pumps as well. But,
So part of that contract has always been to fix the pumps?
Maintenance. Correct.
Okay. And where does that limit of liability end with that? Like if the tank needs servicing or replacement, does that fall upon Board of Ed if we're required to maintain it? Like where is that line of delineation of where does our responsibility stop?
The ownership isn't at All-Star, so I'd assume it would be their responsibility, but I can, get.
Just curious, I mean, I don't have an answer,
No, it's a
but
good question. They're not our tanks.
like I didn't know we had to
All-Stars.
fix it's not our tanks, not our pumps, but we have to maintain them. I thought that was really strange.
Yeah, I think I understand the question completely. It's really just to keep up with maintenance so that everything were to, it's more of a preventative piece. But if the pump were to go south, that is what we rely on to fuel our buses to transport our students to and from. Hence why that has to be included as a maintenance contract to repair and get the buses fueled and ready to go so that they would not have to use an alternate site. But if it were to totally go south, for example, even though we've kept up with our maintenance, then I believe what Ms. Labby is saying is correct. All-Star would have to contact Mitchell and then say, hey, we've kept up with our maintenance, this pump is no longer in use, or this tank is no longer in use, and we would have to work that out. But from a maintenance perspective, that's why it's been in the contract, really for preventative purposes to make sure that we have an easy transition and that no problems happen moving forward. When there's no guarantees, right? Just like with an AC, you can change the filter every month, but an AC can still break, right? But if you're preventative, the chances of it doing that are less likely. Okay, thank you.
I just had one question, and I don't recall the last time we did this. Maybe I was here, maybe I wasn't a few years ago. But when I looked at the bids, the Mitchell bid, they put in something about they would obligate us to the estimated amount of 200,000 gallons, and I didn't see that in Ocon's bid because it's an estimated volume. So was that any kind of concern? Because that rubbed me the wrong way, that, we tell you this is our estimate amount and you want to obligate us to it. So do we anticipate that causing any issues?
I think we've traditionally used the 200,000 gallons, so I don't think that's an issue, but I can, obviously double check. And I think you're referring to their sample contract. Did it have
It
a
may
sample
have been.
contract? Because that could be adapted if we want to push back. I work with them on that.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the mat over it. I mean, I understand that they would be making significant pre-purchases as they indicate. So I don't want to cost them any money by doing anything like that, or cost us any money. But it was just something that I saw in one bid and not the other, so I wanted to bring up. Okay.
One thing about that. So, and probably by a forward contract, but if we agreed to $200,000 or gallons, if they're buying a forward contracting for that many gallons, is it possible that it would carry over? I mean, I would think that if we don't use 10,000, it might carry over to next year or something
Right.
like that, but
It'll be in the tank, so yes, it would be for us to use.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, as long as it's not gonna cause any challenges, okay. And I'm content to accept the budget committee's recommendation, but so I would hear a motion on accepting a bid, preferably the budget committee's recommendation for the initial bid, but I suppose I'll hear a motion. Who's got one?
Sorry, just one clarification. I do see on page 37 that they would not hold us liable if we went under.
Okay.
Taking the delivery of 200,000.
Okay, so it must have just been something that was
And
left
that's
in
in
sample. Okay, excellent. Is there a motion
So moved.
to accept the budget committee's recommendation for the initial bid?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
You're a little late there, Jeff. We'll give that one to Mr. Cronin. Any discussion on the question before us? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that rolling. I'm looking at two different agendas, never a good idea. Okay, so next we have not one but two field trips. Usually that's your wheelhouse, Sue, but
Right, I think there's only one that was in the packet, right?
Right.
One was a last minute add-on. So the one that's in the packet is the one that was submitted by our construction technology teacher. He has taken the construction tech students and the applied STEM students on this trip a couple of different times, for a few years running now. They go to Sturbridge. The point of it is to take a look at the live models that are on the campus of the Sturbridge Village, at the various construction design, the post and beam in particular. I think he's drawing a correlation this year to our new building, our new structure that the kids have actually been able to watch, be erected. So that's that field trip. Do you want to talk about them one at a time, or do you want me to talk about the other one too?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and just tell us about both of them, and if folks have questions.
Okay, the other one, and we apologize for the late ad on that one. The one that you just received is, we've talked about this a couple of years now. It's the one that where the kids go to Boston.
They take the aptitude test.
Exactly, and they take the aptitude test. And the reason it came in late, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it comes in late every year due to the Brooker Memorial Board, right?
Well, that, and also the numbers of kids that elect to sign up, and I think that's what happened this time, right? We were
Yeah, we
looking
wait
for-
until there's a certain number of students that have requested and signed up before we submit, because they won't pay for the transportation until we have a certain number of students. So it gets to be kind of last minute because we're waiting until we get the right number of kids, and then we get approval from them, and then we reach out to Sue. So it gets a little rushed near the end.
So what we did one year, which I think worked out great, is we brought the whole concept forward as a field trip to you folks. You approved it, and then we kind of finalized the dates and just updated you when we got the dates. And if that's something that you're agreeable to, we can continue to do it that way.
Yeah.
I think the reason we agreed to it was because we don't want to lose the opportunity from this program. So we did give you kind of open-ended authority to get the date secured and plan it,
Yeah, but it is, I mean, it's really in violation of policy, right? It's an out-of-state trip that we're bringing and asking you if we can do it in 2 weeks instead of
a month. Right, and I know this has come up last year too. I mean, we are at the mercy of others for this, and it's such a great opportunity, and it's a gift to the district for us to be able to go. It doesn't cost us anything.
Right.
So I don't know if other board members have concerns. I know the time frame.
It's
We
not
talked
ideal.
about it.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I get that it goes against, but I mean, it's a field trip and it's good for kids, so, right?
My concern is coverage. I remember we had some very unhappy guidance.
Well, I offered to chaperone, and I meant that, and I will do it if you need it.
We are all set for chaperone.
Okay,
All
thank
set
you,
for
all right.
Great.
Volunteers, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just so we're clear,
Always
thank you.
volunteers. Okay, so with that, unless anyone has any additional discussion or questions, I would hear a motion to approve both field trips at once.
So moved.
Is there a second? Any further discussion on the question before us? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, that was an aye from Jeff, not an opposed, so that'll carry. We have next the policy 4084, staff attendance. You said there were some minor adjustments to comply with the law for this?
Yes, so you'll recall we added this policy last year. Connecticut has added a new paid sick leave law that just went into effect January 1st, 2025. And so we just added some language into the policy that just clearly states that the criteria and the numbers that are outlined as acceptable attendance in this policy are exclusive of the Connecticut paid sick leave, so that our employees get the benefit that's available to them through Connecticut paid sick leave. And, you know, the numbers that are outlined here will kick in after we take into consideration any leave that they use under Connecticut paid sick leave.
Right, it looks like the main point would be that the first 40 hours of accrued, of used sick leave in a year are protected in that they cannot be used in any attendance-related discipline for the employees. Seems like a good thing to me. But most importantly, it's to comply with the law, and we don't have a lot of leeway here. Any additional discussion? Okay, so I'll hear a motion to approve that policy, which again would be 4084. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on the question for us? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that policy is adopted. We have a couple of new course proposals for astrophysics and who wants to tell us about it?
Mrs. Ferguson wants to talk.
I was looking your way.
I don't know, Maggie's still here. Maggie was actually the person who requested it, right? So you want to give a shout out for your courses?
Hi, I'm Maggie McGillicuddy. I live at 675 Heron Drive here in Torrington. I'm also a Torrington High School teacher. Let's see, taxpayer, parent, So, I'm proposing 2 new courses, astrophysics as a 0.5, a half-year elective course, and Earth 1051, which is a UConn ECE geophysics course for all intents and purposes. The astrophysics is the course that over the past 22 years, that is the one that kids have asked for the most. I'd like to offer it at a level that I think would be meaningful to most kids. There's definitely a lot of math involved with astrophysics, but having been a math teacher for about this much time, I can probably get our kids there even if they're not in some of our advanced math classes. The Earth 1051, I'm so excited. Earth science has made a big kind of comeback in the public forum because we need to take care of our Earth. And working with my professor, Dr. Thorson at UConn, has been an incredible experience even before I've taught the class. So I'm going for training in March, just to make sure that we're complying with all of the requirements that UConn has for us. And as of right now, I have at least 1 full section of Earth Science and 2 full sections of astrophysics on the books. So once the board hopefully approves, we can publish the information to our students and ask if there are any other kids who would like to sign up, since it wasn't an official thing, so they couldn't really do it in Power School when they were requesting their courses. If anyone has questions, please feel free. If you want to know anything about Earth, you let me know.
Any questions, Gary?
What is astrophysics exactly?
Well,
I got as far as
if you
Earth science.
ask, I was gonna say, if you ask anybody, they'll say, oh, you're taking an astronomy course. Well, since about the 1860s, with the invention of better telescopes, we don't just look at things in outer space and categorize them or classify them by how they behave. We're looking at how they move now and how they evolve over time. So in real life, since the 1860s, we've been doing astrophysics.
Space science.
More than that, yeah. Beyond my.
The final frontier.
Yeah, Star Trek. Same thing.
You can audit the course anytime you'd like, Mr. Ugalino.
What's that?
Hey.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
You can audit the course anytime you'd like.
I'll audit, maybe I'll substitute teaching too.
Don't let that. I'll do some of the high-level math stuff for you, okay? Kepler's laws of motion, things like that.
Myself and Tommy.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Meg.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm really glad you were here.
You would have done just fine.
Any discussion, last minute questions for that? Okay, so I would be thrilled to hear a motion to approve these student courses.
So move.
Second.
Okay, so that was John and Bill. Any discussion or debate on the issue before us? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, your new courses are approved.
Thank you.
Um,
My students, thank you too.
There's an article about the new courses in the Radar Report.
She's plugging that hard right there. Well done.
Okay, so we did add an item 5 here, which would be an adjustment of the voluntary retirement incentive program date, which would be end close of business April 1st is what you're looking for?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, we can do it. Or the last day of March, whichever the board.
April 1st.
Okay. Great, so we'll do April 1st. So my understanding, and you all will correct me if I'm wrong, is that this is again related to the redistricting, right? The board set a tentative calendar where we would approve a redistricting plan by, at our monthly meeting on the 26th of March. So this gives anybody who's on the fence about the VRIP program a few days after we would adopt our plan to decide if they'd like to early retire under this program. Because right now, the last date is March 1st. Any questions on that? Okay.
Is that enough time for them? If it's 3 days? You make a decision on what day?
To be honest, no, it's not enough time. It's not. They're gonna be round the clock trying to get this
Yeah, but there's
worked out.
You know, so there's things that we have to do, that's why, you know, if people are gonna retire, there's things that have to be filed, so it's catch-22. So might not be enough time for them, but if we extend it too far, then we're gonna run out of time for us
To
to
let
be
them
able to
retire.
process everything we need to process, so there's both sides of that.
So it's helpful to push it out to April 1st, but it's still gonna be.
Anyone else? So I would hear a motion to extend the voluntary retirement incentive program notice date to April 1st, if there is such a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion or debate? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that date is extended. We have next a possible executive session discussion concerning an attorney-client privileged communication related to student expulsion proceedings. Who are we looking to bring in? Just the superintendent? Is she here?
She's not here. Is she here?
Oh,
Oh,
inviting in
yeah.
the superintendent.
Seriously did.
Right, inviting in the superintendent.
Jessica. Did she?
And Attorney Jessica Ritter. Is there such a motion? There's a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are in executive session at 6:38. Sorry. Okay, we are back in open session at 7:08, you said?
Yes.
So we have items for the upcoming agenda. We will finalize the redistricting plan no later than the March meeting. We will probably have some budget stuff on there. I assume we might do a little more workshopping of that for the next monthly meeting. Or is that our day when we've got to be done? Yeah, that's all right. So we'll be looking to pass a Board of Education budget at that meeting. All the usual fare. Anyone else have anything that they want to tack on? Okay, so I'm sure we'll add stuff throughout the month anyway. So that's that. We next have comments for the good of the order. We'll start with you, Mr. Knight.
I'm good.
John.
Midget Avenue is gonna be torn up between Route 4 and Pulaski Street, so if you have to go to the Board of Ed building, go the back way.
Yikes.
Thanks, John, we appreciate that.
Yeah,
What's the back way, John?
They say 2 weeks, but you know, anything can happen.
Right.
What's the back way?
Turn left on,
Like you're going to where Chesties used to
The
be.
gas meter?
They don't know that.
I know.
People live here, what do you mean?
What's the hill where like.
Torrington Preschool.
Company, whatever it is there now, it's all down, take that left, and then when you get to the stop sign, you can turn right. And then that takes you.
And
Yeah, so if
don't,
you're coming
don't
down-
go down
if you're
Pulaski,
coming down
just
Route
keep
4.
going and then take the right onto Midget. Oh,
Yeah, just don't
okay, we
come
do
see
that.
me at Forbes, it's okay.
Okay, Kristen.
Nothing, great meeting, thank you.
Here.
I just want to thank, I don't know if Jason's still here, but at the policy committee meeting, we had, I think, 6 administrators show up, maybe more, and it's nice to see that they come to the meetings and spend their time at meetings, and you know, we can actually communicate, get along better, and we can continue. I don't know if Jason's still here.
No, he's gone.
You made a smart choice.
I don't know.
Great meeting, thanks.
Good meeting.
Good meeting, thank you. Great meeting.
What?
All set? I just want to say congratulations to all on number 10.
Oh,
Maybe you'll change your mind.
No.
I wouldn't need
She's
you.
like, no.
Great meeting, John, thanks for the tip on driving.
Great meeting, thank you.
Mr. Woods.
Great meeting, thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to say a couple things. First, of course, congratulations on your time. You have just done tremendous good for our students and families in this school district. And for what it's worth, you saved us a lot of money too. But I think the most important thing is the amount of students that you have directly or indirectly improved their lives and education here in Torrington, and our community owes you for that far more than your salary and benefits could ever. So thank you. And the second thing I want to say is I just want to remark briefly that I have to say that it is an absolute outrage for the city council to, frankly without cause, reject and force to arbitration the Torrington Public Schools Administrators Association contract. I think it's an insult to people who come to work every day and look out for our students in the same way that teachers do, but in different ways as well. These folks are responsible for their safety, for dealing with maintenance issues and transportation and parents, and evaluating teachers when they're not dealing with all those things. And I think it's an incredible insult to people who come to work here in Torrington every day, many of whom for decades of their careers. And I do not feel the way that the city council does about them, and I know none of you do either. So it's an outrage. I'm really upset about it, and I'm not looking forward to the fact that we now have to extend the process, but I hope that it will be as painless as possible. And with that, we just have our future meetings really quickly. So we have redistricting, and that's sort of a public hearing, informal discussion, and that's March 3rd at Voga Wetmore at 5 p.m. We have school improvement and policy on March 5th at Forbes, facilities and technology and budget on March 12th at Midget Avenue, budget, public hearing and Q&A on March 19th at Vogel, building committee March 20th here at Torrington. And on March 26th, we were remiss to put Midget Avenue, I'm being told that that needs to be here at Torrington. So that's the monthly Board of Education meeting, Wednesday, March 26th at 5:30 p.m. will be here.
Here.
And with that, I will.
But I think it ends at 4.
Oh.
Conferences end at 4.
Yeah, then it'll be set up for book fair, right?
Okay.
We did it last year with the book fair.
Yeah, we
So
did.
how about this?
The
Anybody
book fair was
who's
set up around the.
anybody who's interested in coming to that meeting should keep an eye on the calendar.
In case it changes.
Because we have to make some kind of determination about possibly moving it, and we're not entirely sure where yet. And with that,
City Hall?
yeah, with that, I'll hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at
7:14.
7:14.